Welcome to We've Got a Country to Save, brought to you by my friends at investyrefy.com. Invest in America like I do, and by Freedom Chat. Freedom Chat has true end-to-end encryption, no storage of messages on the server, and no commercial use of user data. That way you can speak freely and message privately. Download the app today and subscribe to my Freedom Chat channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. We also thank Epoch Times, Old Glory Bank, Patriot Mobile, Birch Gold, Century H2O, and Blue Line Moving. Make sure to follow or subscribe to my channel on whatever platform you are using, whether X, YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble, and be sure to patronize our sponsors. And if you don't patronize our sponsors, well...
You're shooting ironwork.
Appears to do, yes.
We know where you live. Now, this explains exactly why Trump won and Kamala Harris lost. And these rich pundits never saw it coming. This is the very definition of head up blank elitism. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Morning Joe.
Trump's going to win. I go, why is that? He goes, I went to the grocery store. Butter's over $3.
Okay.
But it actually, what everything we're hearing after the election is,
I'm just saying, the $7.
What's that?
The $7.
What's that? Butter is $7?
Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Some
Is
places.
it framed in gold?
Yeah, what
Okay.
kind of butter?
Okay.
Depends on where
Anyway,
you go. But
okay, well, yeah, okay. Well,
$7.
anyway, my point is this, Willie. The rent is too damn high.
Rent and the deficit is too damn high.
And this guy was saying the cost of butter is way damn too high.
There's some butter in the kitchen.
So you're here. What did you answer?
Who lit the butter?
Okay.
Leather pants. Yeah. What's something like that, right? $650. $650. Yeah. They're pants. Yeah. You wear them. Yes. They don't have like a TV in them or something? Nope. I am very old.
What's that?
the $7.
What's that? Butter is $7?
Yeah.
What?
Some
Is
places.
it framed in gold?
We know who does the shopping in the Scarborough household. Now, Bernie Sanders said President Biden kept his word on becoming the most progressive president on domestic issues since FDR.
President Biden, when he came into office, said that he would be the most progressive president since FDR. And I think on domestic issues, not foreign policy, on domestic issues, he has kept his word, and the agenda that he has pushed through has been an extraordinarily strong one. But that agenda has got to be placed within the overall context of American society today. And that American society today is one in which tens of millions of working families and elderly people are struggling, while the people on top have never had it so good.
Exactly, Uncle Bernie. He was the most left-wing progressive president since FDR, and that is why he lost.
I don't believe it.
That is why you fail.
And Kamala Harris, when she was in the Senate, had a more left-wing record than Bernie Sanders, and that is why she lost.
Unfortunately, there are situations in life, and this is one of them, where there must be a winner and a loser.
Don't you just love these left-wing political pundits.
There are voters he'll never get. There are places he'll never be competitive. And there's so many of them now that there's no world in which Donald Trump could, no imaginable world in which Donald Trump could ever win a popular majority in America, in the American electorate.
But they blew it. The New York Times estimates that Harris will lose the national popular vote by about 1.5 points, a first for Democrats since 2004.
Hi, folks. You may be hearing a lot about Yrefy these days. Well, it's true. Investors all over the country are earning a high fixed rate of return, and they don't care what happens with the stock market or the Fed. And it's true, your interest is compounded daily, you're paid monthly, and there are absolutely no fees. And yes, it's true, there is no attack on your principal if you ever need your money back. When you invest with Yrefy like I do, you are in control. You can turn your income on or off, compound it, whatever you choose. You don't have to worry about doom and gloom economic news, and you can have peace of mind that you'll receive your statement every month with no surprises. Would you like some more information? Just call 877-80-INVEST, that's 877-80-INVEST, or log on to investyrefy.com, that's investyrefy.com. Yrefy, do well by doing good. Let me ask you a question. How many of you are concerned about the invasion of privacy that is currently going on by the Biden administration? Biden's DOJ is invading individuals' private messages and targeting them based on their political affiliation, and that's why I partnered with Freedom Chat, a private social messaging app that, like me, believes privacy is your fundamental human right. Freedom Chat has variable end-to-end encryption, built-in screenshot protection, no storage of messages on their servers, and no commercial use of user data. I'm such a fan of Freedom Chat, in fact, that I have created my own private channel that you can subscribe to for exclusive content, including never-seen images, videos, and posts. Simply download the app, or if you're on Android, join their waitlist. Search for my channel and subscribe. No one can see the channels that you are subscribed to or the posts that you react to. It's your own perfectly curated private news feed. Speak freely and message privately with Freedom Chat. Download the app today and subscribe to my channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. Well now, what do the denizens of San Francisco feel about the election?
Hey, Willie Nelson here, reporting from the People's Republic of San Francisco, Kamala Harris' old stomping ground. Does anyone know where Willie Brown is? Donald Trump just booted Kamala out of the White House in a landslide.
Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out.
And some folks here are loving it, while others... not so much. I'm here to find out what San Francisco's most passionate voters think about the results, all while dodging sidewalk gifts and stray needles. Let's see if they're ready for Trump's America or just not buying what he's selling.
I think it's a shame what he has done, what he's probably going to do. I do believe we'll have a national abortion ban, which upsets me.
I obviously voted for Kamala, and I'm certainly heartbroken by the results of the election. I'm concerned about basically everybody that is not cis white men.
I think each side, especially Democratic side, hired a psychiatrist to freak their people out more than is necessary. Too much anxiety. We're going to be okay.
And what do you have to say to the people who voted for Donald Trump, Rich?
I'm disappointed that people don't dig deeper to find out more information and get facts. Too much misinformation available.
Where do you think misinformation spreads?
On the internet.
Any particular platform in general?
I actually don't participate on social media, so I can't answer that.
Well, I've definitely been going through the grieving process, totally in disbelief, anger, distraught, talking my daughter off the rails.
Why are you crying? Not happy with the outcome.
And why are you unhappy with the outcome?
Trump's going to be a dictator, and I hope everybody's ready for it.
I was hoping for something different. I think he's a misogynist, he's racist, sexist. It's just like a blatant slap in the face.
You are fake news.
Not super excited about the results.
And why do you think Kamala couldn't pull off the win?
I don't know. I always wonder if she had like a little more time to campaign. I know she didn't have a lot of time after Joe, kind of stepped back.
I voted for Harris, and I'm not too happy with the outcome. I hate to say it, I feel like if she was a man, maybe we would have had a Democratic president. As a nurse, I'm concerned, the RFK, who has conspiracies about vaccines and stuff, I'm really nervous and scared about that.
I think it's very clear that America has chosen its president. I don't like the choice. I hope this is a wake up for like elitist progressive types. As a progressive person myself, I'm like, politics have to be about coalition building and hope, and you're doing something. It can't be sort of this like identity politicking, holier than thou, more educated than thou, this is what you want, shut up and accept it kind of energy that I've been seeing out of especially the Democratic Party.
I voted for Kamala Harris, and I don't feel good about the outcome. I also feel a little bit confused because I feel like we were told that it was going to be a close race, and then throughout the day, I was kind of tracking it as a close race, and then it seemed to all go downhill. So.
And why do you think the people didn't vote for Kamala?
I think it's because she's a woman of color.
Why do you think Kamala Harris could not pull off a win?
You know, you can have $1 billion and get all the celebrities in the world, but if people are looking for certain policies right now, if you see the streets of San Francisco, people are hurting, homeless all over this place. Gas is high. She should have came to the streets of where she's from, San Francisco. I didn't see her talking to any of the common folk here. All she got to do is talk to the people, and then she would have known what she had to go in office and do and what she had to say. It was really simple.
What I don't like about Donald Trump is this rapist felon who's he's basically gonna be an emperor. He's got the courts, the Senate, half the population that shows up to vote. I really do hope that you don't live to regret it.
I voted for Kamala. I don't like that he's a criminal and that he hates women.
She campaigned really well. I just think the world may not be ready for a woman's president.
I vote for Kamala Harris. You know, honestly, I'm not super surprised that Trump won. I just felt like Kamala and the whole Democrats didn't really have a platform to run on for the last 8 years other than we're not Trump, and didn't really have a vision for the future where even if you didn't agree with Trump's vision, he had one.
Well, that's a wrap from the social justice sanctuary of San Francisco. Trump's win isn't exactly winning over the crowd here. Let's just say it's more sourdough than celebration. Reporting from Kamala's backyard, I'm Willie Nelson, your man on the street.
Educate yourself and
please educate yourself.
Challenge your beliefs. It's kind of a secret. I can't tell you who I voted for. All right, I voted for Trump.
President Biden, speaking for the first time after Trump's victory, was asked an urgent question.
President Trump still a threat to democracy.
I'm going to see him on Wednesday.
What are you going to tell with him about?
What's there to say to him?
What are you going to tell to Trump?
So Biden is going to see the man that his wife, Dr. Jill, called evil days before the assassination attempt. Kamala Harris called him fascist, and Biden himself called Trump supporters believers in semi-fascism?
Were you lying then? Are you lying now? Or are you not, in fact, a chronic and habitual liar?
Now, Jim Jordan asked a question. How is it that Joe Biden got so many more votes than Kamala Harris? What happened to those 10 million votes, he asks?
No, I think the Democrats got to ask, why did we go from getting 81 million to getting 70 million? What happened to those 10 million people? Maybe they need to, maybe it's not smart to run an election where you have no vision, no record to run on.
Do you believe
that
the 2024
names?
Do you believe that the 2024 election was free and fair?
I do. I do.
And why was it different from 2020 when he lost? Is that the only difference?
No, there were concerns about 2020 with all the mail-in voting that happened. You know, what Pennsylvania had like 2-point-something million mail-in ballots come in without any signature verification, which was required under Pennsylvania statute. So there were all kinds of concerns with how the 2020 election was carried out. But
there was absolutely
the biggest question Democrats need to be asking: what happened to
It
the 10 million voters that Joe Biden got that didn't come out for Kamala Harris? A bunch of them. President Trump's numbers were right up where they were in 2020, but the Democrats were much lower.
Some on the left and the right are suggesting foul play. Where are the votes? But there is an easy explanation, or rather 5 easy explanations. First, not all the votes have been counted yet, including California. Second, because of COVID, more Democrats relied on the ease of voting by mail in 2020 who otherwise would likely have not voted at all. So the number of missing votes is actually smaller than it appears. Third, it looks like a lot of Democrats decided not to vote this time because they don't like Harris, they believe they're worse off than they were 4 years ago, but couldn't stand voting for a fascist named Donald Trump. Better to sit it out. Fourth, the most important number is the percentage of eligible voters who actually voted. In order for there to be missing votes, the percentage of eligible voters who voted in 2024 needs to be the same or even higher than 4 years ago. That number, however, appears to be lower, particularly among Democrats. Again, think about it. If you're a Democrat, you're worse off. You can't stand being worse off. Kamala Harris was co-pilot, but Donald Trump is a fascist. You sit it out. Fifth, in 2020, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg spent $400 million of his own money to assist election officials in heavy Democrat areas to get out the vote. I repeat, heavy Democrat areas. It was controversial and possibly even illegal. Now, since then, several states have outlawed the use of private money to do this. Zuckerberg was widely criticized, and he promised not to do it again this time. Now, did the world change Tuesday or what? Watch what happens at this customer at Panera Bread who yelled at a customer wearing a MAGA hat.
Come after us. Stop. You when you don't get your cheap ass. Hey, this is a family environment. Please leave right now. This is a family environment. We're not doing that here. We represent Panera Bread and the brand. I don't care who you voted for, who you love, who you worship. Get out. I'm not going to have my rights taken away. Nobody's questioning anybody's rights. Thank you. Please leave these other guests alone. We're not interacting.
Looks like Charlamagne the God had an N-word wake-up call.
What do you make of the demographics here? I mean, Trump got 1 out of every 3 voters of color.
No.
Yeah.
1 out of
33%.
No. Really?
Yeah.
When you say color, you mean like black, brown, everything. Oh.
Don't you love that look on his face? I repeat, how clueless is Mr. the God?
I'm gonna tell her I love her, I value her, I appreciate her, and whatever she plans to do moving forward, I'm gonna always support her, and I'm gonna say what I've been saying on the radio and on my podcast, that she has nothing to be ashamed about. She ran a great campaign and only had 100 days to do it. Nobody thought she could even do what it is that she did. Like, the first day getting all the delegates in line, raising the money that she raised, digging the campaign out of a hole to where they were neck and neck on election day. And she inspired a lot of people. Like, I got 4 daughters, and my 9-year-old and my 6-year-old, when I'm watching, This Week ABC on Sunday morning, or I'm watching CNN or Fox or MSNBC, they're coming in and they're asking me questions about Vice President Kamala Harris. And they were, are you going to vote for the Vice President, Daddy? Yes, I'm voting for the Vice President. And when she lost, they were upset that she was lost. So, she did inspire a lot of people, and it was a historic campaign.
She ran a great campaign.
You look real patriotic.
I'm feeling like America's about to enter its next golden age, and I'm feeling very excited about it, and everybody should be.
I don't see why people wouldn't be.
Thank you. I knew deep down. Everything went to plan, huh? Everything went to our plan, Charlotte.
There was not a plan.
Remember when we decided on Brilliant Idiots, we're like, yo, you'll fake support Kamala and then cause all this distraction and what is it? You stir up the water to catch fish. You'll do all that, and then Trump will land the plane, and then boom, we did it.
That's not what happened.
Charlamagne.
I supported Kamala Harris, but it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because the president of the United States of America, the 47th president, is Donald J. Trump. And I said this on Breakfast Club this morning, you gotta accept it. Are you an American?
Al walking out. Al just leaving.
Are you an American or are you not an American?
Damn right I'm an American.
Why would I wish for America to fail? Why would I want America to fail? I'm just asking a simple question.
Thank you.
I'm just asking a simple question. I don't want America to fail. I have a life here. I have businesses here. I have a family here. Why would I want America to fail?
That's why we were wondering why you were supporting Kamala. No. That's why we didn't understand it. We're like, why is this guy throwing so much support her way?
Listen,
when I know that he's a patriot, when I know he's a great man, I know that he wants America to win.
Listen, everybody votes for their interests. I have interest in Kamala, but I'm not going to root against. Why would I root against the president?
That's what I'm talking. Thank you. Thank you.
I hope Trump doesn't do anything he said he's going to do.
Whoa.
I hope there's only 3 things I hope Trump does.
Talk to me.
Why do you keep bumping me?
Because it sounds like your squad.
He says he wants to.
My glasses.
He says he wants to lower taxes. Do your thing, bruh.
Thank you.
Okay.
Right?
He said he wants to fix the economy, even though inflation is already down.
Yes, right.
Hey, do your thing.
MAGA.
Okay. If he wants to make things more secure, build the wall, border security.
Border it
do
up.
your thing.
Do your thing, Wody.
I mean, Kamala did worse than Joe Biden in every single county in the country. I repeat, every single county.
So you asked, are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
Trump got 1 out of every 3 voters of color.
No.
Yeah.
1 out of
33%.
No. Really?
Yeah.
And this is like an episode of Dumb and Dumber. Jonathan Karl once said that Mitt Romney pays a lower effective federal income tax rate than an auto mechanic making $75K a year. Not true. And Charlamagne had no blooming idea that Trump won a third of the vote of people of color.
I'm not going to say surprised. Surprised isn't the word that I would use because it's a toss-up. Like, it was going into the election, they were neck and neck. I think that she needs to get a lot more credit than she probably is going to get because the campaign was dead, literally.
With Biden.
Oh, yeah, the campaign was dead with Biden. I know people make a lot of jokes about the whole Weekend at Bernie's thing, and they would say things like, I would vote for Biden if he was a corpse. Well, he damn near was. And, there was no life whatsoever. And I think that the vice president made a lot of people sit up on the couch and pay attention and at least be curious. With Biden, everybody was just knocked out, sleep, gone.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah!
Okay, so if Jonathan Karl and Charlamagne the God are dumb and dumber, this Harris advisor is dumbest.
Joe Biden's been a phenomenal president. He's lived up to so many of the promises he's made. There's one promise left that he could fulfill, being a transitional figure. He could resign the presidency in the next 30 days, make Kamala Harris the president of the United States.
Whoa.
It would absolve her from being able to, from having to oversee the January 6th transition, right, of her own defeat. And it would make sure that it would dominate the news at a point where Democrats have to learn drama and transparency and doing things that the public want to see is the time. This is the moment for us to change the entire perspective of how Democrats
Okay, this
operate.
has now jumped from an internet meme to a Sunday morning show.
Even more cluelessness.
We cannot ignore what was being discussed in the last segment there with Aaron Haynes and Professor Dittmar. The role of racism and sexism, misogyny, grievance, white nationalism, that was very much a part of Donald Trump's campaign. And I think we need to acknowledge it, we need to talk about it, and then I think as a country, we need to confront it. We've never done it in our history. We probably won't do it now, but I think we need to acknowledge the fact that the incoming president of the United States openly ran on racist messages about fellow citizens, non-citizens, people who have always come to this country seeking a better life long before Build the Wall. So yeah, we could talk about education realignment, we can talk about political realignment, but until we talk about the grievances that Donald Trump exploited, as Professor Dittmar said, we're going to be in this mess for a while.
The race card. Do not leave home without it. Remember what left-wing Chris Matthews, who used to be the press spokesperson for the Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill? Remember what he said about white voters voting for a racist?
Just to set my bona fides on the table, one time I was doing I'm serious. I was substituting on a night watch, a middle of the night show on CBS, and I had to do a whole interview program on something called hip hop. And I managed to carry it out the entire time without having any idea what I was talking about. I didn't know if it was music or what it was. I just said things like, so what is hip-hop? How's it work? And it was the most primitive thing in the world. So here I go, not having made much progress. Except I do understand President Trump as much as any of us do. He always shoots the moon. He does the thing in the contest of ideas and politics that the other people don't do. Here he is sitting with a hip-hop guy who apparently has got some sort of bizarre politics that, fine. I think it runs against the idea that he's a racist. It runs against the idea that Trump doesn't like minorities, that he's going after Hirona, going after Maxine Waters, going after the usual suspects, if you will, in politics in a sort of a racial way. And here he is flipping it and confusing people. But mainly it's for white people. Because white people won't vote for a guy, most of them, if they think they're racist. So if you show you're not in some plaintive, cartoonish way, you get some off the hook. You know what I'm saying?
But according to Joy Reid et al., Harris lost because of bigotry.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and Prioritize Black Communities, Black Businesses, and that. And, you know, the black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing, one of the most significant being our national debt. Fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So, the strategy remains the same. Diversify your savings. That's why I buy gold from Birch Gold. So many things are out of our control, out of our president's control. It's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group. My gold company will help you convert an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. And the best news, it doesn't cost you a penny out of pocket. Visit LarryForGold.com. Get your free info kit. Plus, right now, through Black Friday, you'll receive a free 1-ounce Silver Eagle for every $5,000 purchase. Protect your savings with Birch Gold. Visit LarryForGold.com and claim your eligibility for free silver today. That's LarryForGold.com, LarryForGold.com. Americans have had enough of supporting companies that hate our values. Tired of compromise? So am I. It's time to switch to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. They are an example of putting the cause ahead of profits, and that's why I'm proud to partner with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, giving you access to all 3 major networks, which means you get the same coverage you've been accustomed to without funding the left. When you switch over to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message that you support the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the sanctity of life, and our military vets and our first responder heroes. Their 100% U.S.-based customer service team makes it easy to switch, keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade. Their team will help you find the best plan for your needs. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. That's patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. Get free activation when you use the offer code Larry. Join me and make that switch today. patriotmobile.com/Larry, patriotmobile.com/Larry or call 972-PATRIOT. But did San Francisco 49ers Nick Bosa do the Trump dance after he sacked the quarterback? And guess who has the most popular selling jersey in the NFL? Nick Bosa. Now, did you hear about Kamala Harris's campaign owing $20 million after having raised a whole $1 billion?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets.
Hello? I don't know what to tell you, Barack. I have no idea where the money went, right? $20 million? Can you tell Beyonce to give me a call back? She can also just wire me. You know, technically she should pay me back. I didn't even perform. Is this Offset? I thought you guys broke up. Can I talk to Cardi for a second? Hey, girl. Yeah, listen. So here's the thing. You know, I didn't get elected. You didn't help me get elected, and you said you would. So I think that, you know, you should unburden that and give me my money back. Don't hang up on me. And this is Big Sister General. Hey, Whoopi. Are you hiring? Hello?
You don't have any money. The capital and the income are exhausted, and you no longer have any money. I wish there was some other way I could say it. How could I put it? That money, you have no capital, you have no income, no, it's only money. No, you have no money. There's no other way to put it, you see.
You mean I have no money?
Yes, that's what I mean. You have no money.
Yikes! Where, you ask, is Donald Trump going to get the money for mass deportation? Well, this gentleman has some ideas.
When people are like, where's Donald Trump going to get all the money to deport millions of people? The same place you motherfuckers got it, to bus them and fly them all across the United States, put them up in hotels, give them apartments, give them free health care, and give them $3,500 a month on a debit card. That's where we're going to get it. We're just going to stop giving them that shit and throw them the fuck out. It's pretty simple. You guys already wasted billions of dollars getting them here. Yes, we're going to waste billions of dollars getting them the fuck out of here and getting back to being Americans.
Oh, let the finger pointing begin. Nancy Pelosi says the reason they lost is because Biden should have gotten out much earlier.
The word chutzpah comes to mind for a couple of different reasons. I mean, the first is that, look, if a hurricane hits the small town, sitting after the fact and arguing that we should have built the house out of brick or stone or wood doesn't really matter. For a lot of different reasons, this was going to be an election that incumbents were going to have a very, very hard time holding on to in this country. And to then say, well, if we'd had a primary and, you know, a knife fight between some unknown group of Democrats, one would have emerged who would have been a stronger candidate than Kamala Harris and somehow run a better campaign than what we just saw in that 107-day sprint where she raised $1 billion and ran an almost flawless campaign. It just wasn't enough to
Many people would disagree with that, but
well, it was
going 0 for 7 in the swing states means it's not very flawless.
Well, other than the
going 0 for 7 and losing the popular vote, there are a few things in the way of flawless.
We decided to call another call, you know, and we make these decisions every game all the time, and when they work out sometimes and they don't other times. This one didn't work out right for us, you know, and we could have run it and got stuffed. We could have run it and scored. We could have scored against their goal line as well. I know that could have happened. It just wasn't a great football thought at the time. Great football is let's make sure we match up properly so that we can have our best chance to run it and score. So that's all. And in retrospect, we could have easily run it and we wouldn't be talking about this. We might have got stuffed on 3rd and 4th down. I don't know what would have happened, but this is what happened.
I don't think that speaks to the campaign. Like we
I think
were
it does. I think
we were
it speaks
discussing
exactly
before.
to what the American people
we were
got.
discussing before. In every developed nation, the incumbent party at the end of the pandemic has lost. They have lost bad. The Democrats here lost less badly than the ruling parties. Conservative, liberal, does not matter. Across the world, the convulsions caused by COVID, by inflation, by supply chain problems, people are angry.
We played them in the 3rd game. Everybody played 3 quarters. The Bears are who we thought they were. That's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown them. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
But often they're just picking someone who's going to get stuff done, right? I thought the best Trump slogan was the Trump will fix it slogan. People feel that society is broken. I don't think any Democrat could have possibly won this election.
Who's this person, Nancy Pelosi?
Right, who's the dream candidate?
Well, yeah, that's really the bigger point. I just want to play this because to your point, Errol, on the Pelosi of it all. I mean, this is Pelosi at two different junctures in her evolution on this question of whether President Biden should serve out a second term.
I hope he runs. I'm for him if he runs. And I know that the Democrats will fully embrace him. If he runs, it's over.
Get some facts and come back and see me. Get some facts and come back and see me. Don't throw out salaries or other things.
It's up to the president to decide if he is going to run. We're all encouraging him to make that decision because time is running short. But he's beloved, he is respected, and people want him to make that decision, not me.
Get some facts and come back and see me.
I mean, the former speaker is twisting herself into a pretzel. When Joe Biden dropped out, they said, oh, he's a statesman, he's beloved, he's doing this for the country, he's the greatest man in the world. And now that they've gotten their butts whooped, now they're blaming it on the guy who they were just saying several months ago
Didn't she say
was
he
the
should be on
greatest
Mount
guy in the
Rushmore
world.
president?
She did say that. But they're looking for someone and anyone to blame. And to your point, I think that's a valid point.
I mean, listen, we're talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We're talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for.
This election was always going to be tough because of the economy. You look at all the net negatives for the Biden-Harris administration. I'm not certain there was this magical candidate out there who suddenly could have defeated Donald Trump. I just don't believe that.
I totally agree. And imagine a different postmortem from Nancy Pelosi where she says, you know what? We obviously totally disagree with 8,000 things that Donald Trump stands for, but we should have done a better job of hearing the pain of the American people. We should have taken it more seriously.
We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice. I know I'm supposed to be there. I know I'm supposed to lead by example. I know that. And I'm not shoving it aside, like it don't mean anything. I know it's important. I do. I honestly do. But we talking about practice, man. What are we talking about? Practice?
We should have not stigmatized, the dumb Trump voters and all those MAGA people. We should have taken this more seriously, and we could do a better job moving forward because we, the Democrats, have solutions that might actually work. Instead, this finger pointing.
It was our message.
Man, I hear you. It's funny to me too. I mean, it's strange to me too. But we talking about practice, man. We're not even talking about the game, the actual game, when it matters. We're talking about practice.
What the Democrats need to do is take a page from, believe it or not, from the GOP, who after 2 losses to Barack Obama went back and said, wait a minute, this isn't working.
I don't know. All I know is we threw 4 interceptions and fumbled once. 1 interception they returned for a touchdown. 3 others were in our end of the field where they scored points. That's all I know. That's inexcusable. Inexcusable. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game. Another game.
They did. They literally did. But they won.
But they tried for 2 years. I was a part of that. We tried for 2 years.
You tried to figure it out.
We tried for 2 years.
Somehow or another, you figured something out. I'm not sure it was the plan, but there were voters did move. I just wrote about this for the Boston Globe, how there was a lot of economic frustration, particularly among, the sort of Democratic coalition is splintered at this point, right? And what Democrats cannot afford to do, especially in public, especially right now, is say, well, it's your fault, and it's your fault, and it's your fault. What they need to do is assess, and they need to start developing young leaders now. I honestly, when I heard that Biden was running again, I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute, where's the next, compared to the 2020 Democratic candidate, for president slate, which was diverse and interesting and frankly all over the place, why are the Democrats refusing to really develop that next generation?
And that article had to have been written by a person that doesn't have a child and has never had a child that's had their heart broken and come home upset and had to deal with the child when he is upset and kick a person when he's down. Here's all that kid did. He goes to class,
He's respectful to the media. He's respectful to the public. And he's a good kid. And he's not a professional athlete. And he doesn't deserve to be kicked when he's down. If you have a child someday, you'll understand how it feels. But you obviously don't have a child. I do. If your child goes down the street and somebody makes fun of him because he dropped a pass in a pickup game, or says he's fat, and he comes home crying to his mom, you'd understand.
I think that's actually a really interesting point, though, because Democrats went from a big change candidate, Barack Obama, a fundamentally, and he changed the electorate of the Democrat Party in a way that fundamentally changed the electorate of the Republican Party, right? Yeah. We switched to low propensity voters. You guys switched to high propensity voters. And then you went back to Joe Biden. Then you went to Hillary Clinton. And they were like, no, no, Joe, sit aside. And then you went to Joe Biden. You went from this transformational winning, this candidate with Barack Obama, to much more of what people had already seen. And then Republicans walked in with a transformational change candidate who changed our electorate as well. That people wanted that change. And when Democrats decided to double down on more of what they had seen.
No, you know what? This is how I believe, okay? I'm from the old school. I believe this. I would rather play with 10 people and just get penalized all the way until we got to do something else, rather than play with 11 when I know that right now that person is not sold out to be a part of this team.
If there was somebody out there, whether it's Gavin Newsom or somebody else, they should have announced themselves and fought their way.
Well,
waiting for Nancy Pelosi to
never going to happen. That was never going to happen 3 weeks before the DNC. But I actually think that the other reason that this Pelosi postmortem kind of misses something is that think about what happened in this election. Kamala Harris was held to her primary positions in 2019, positions that she took when she was running for the Democratic nomination. Democrats have a primary problem where they have to get a candidate out of a primary that can win a general election. Joe Biden came out of the primary because he did not do what all the other candidates did, which was run all the way to the left. Yeah. So they still have that problem. And it would not have been fixed this January, I don't think.
It is more about them than it is about the team. Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. I want winners. I want people that want to win.
So I'm not actually sure that it's the left-right axis that matters for Democrats winning or not winning in the general elections. I think it has to do much more with emotional, even, dare I say, spiritual qualities. And Trump has these in spades.
Maybe it's not left-right, but maybe it's not left-right, but maybe it is common sense, right? So, like, it doesn't matter where on the spectrum of extremes you are. But if you're not sort of addressing people in the place where they are,
and they never did. They kept
that's
saying
going to be a problem.
They kept saying the economy was incredible. It was great. Look at how well the stock market is doing. 401ks, and average people say, well, wait a minute, I just went to the grocery store last week.
That's right.
And $200 really didn't get me very far. Or I went to the gas station and I don't have enough gas for the end of the week. I mean, these very real tangible things in people's individual economies, if you will, it seemed a bit detached from the messaging of the candidate and coming from her campaign writ large. And I think that was a terrible mistake.
And I think let's be clear, though, President Trump is also, you know, the optics of his campaign may have been this sort of populist messaging to I'll fix it, right? And we'll get that economy back on track.
If you want to go after an athlete, one of my athletes, you go after one that doesn't do the right things. You don't downgrade him because he does everything right and may not play as well on Saturday. And you let us make that decision. That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage. Attacking an amateur athlete for doing everything right. And then you want to write articles about guys that don't do things right and downgrade them, the ones that do make plays. Are you kidding me?
I think the Democrats were struggling to figure out who they were speaking to. Were they speaking to the middle class, which is, by the way, shrinking in this country? As we know, there are more people who are likely to be wealthy or poor than they are to be in the middle. So we've seen that 10% decrease in the middle class, and yet the messaging didn't seem to connect.
But they kept almost telling the American people from the podium, like, they're there, dum-dum, the economy's fine.
Right, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Everything's great, they're there. And
Right.
It was so patronizing. The American people, I was listening to NPR. I heard a woman in an interview say, going to the grocery store, chips feel like a luxury item. And you have Karine Jean-Pierre as the White House press secretary and at the podium saying the economy is great, and it's just because the media isn't telling the American people. That's Democrats biggest problem right now. If you are blaming the media for not carrying your message, well, welcome to being a Republican, buddy, because we have to fight back all the time against, how many times is it Republicans pounce, Republicans seize, Republicans this, that, or whatever? How about Republicans acknowledge the fact and make that a headline?
Let's just put one.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not a kid.
Though, just because I think, just to be clear, I don't think we should over-index even on the economy as an explanation for what happened on Tuesday.
No, that's right.
There were a host of other things, and part of it is also, like, you look at what Republicans spent their money on. It wasn't just the economy. They were spending money on the trans ads, immigration,
cultural issues,
cultural issues. So there was another part, for Pelosi, where she talks about this. She believes that's a big part of it.
That ain't true.
Do you ever wake up and realize your life has no purpose?
Do I have a death wish? Morgan asked. Maybe I did. I thought this would be our final run ever. We had made millions and millions of dollars, but God had other plans.
Peter Lowe, the one-time drug dealer turned pastor, along with 2 others, will be executed at 12 midnight local time.
You can be in heaven, or you can be in hell. The choice is yours. I found Christ in here, and he forgave me.
My name is Peter Lowe, and I will be executed in 2 hours.
Jesus is for free, and salvation is a gift. Do you believe in Jesus?
Blue Line Moving is a veteran-owned full-service moving company dedicated to serving families across South Florida, as well as nationwide over the past 10 years. Whether it's moving furniture, organizing items, or packing your belongings, we go the extra mile to make sure it's all done right. We provide clients with an affordable and stress-free moving experience every step of the way. BlueLineMovingAndStorage.com. That's BlueLineMovingAndStorage.com. A watershed moment. On October 26, 2024, in an unprecedented move, John Rourke of Blue Line Moving, along with Nelson McElveen of Century H2O, will work with East Palestine, Ohio Mayor Trent Conaway to donate water filtration systems to every single household. Quote, I would like to ensure that every household that would like a water filtration system gets one to protect their family from potential toxic threats so as to have peace of mind when drinking and cooking, that they are consuming safe water, close quote, says Mr. McElveen. Environmental government agencies claim the environment tests are fine, but locals disagree. 2 private companies are stepping in to support the residents of East Palestine. At Century H2O, we believe that everyone deserves access to clean, healthy water. That's why we're dedicated to providing innovative water treatment solutions that remove harmful toxins, balance pH, and enrich water with essential minerals, supporting your overall health and well-being. They are donating 10% of every purchase to provide under-sink water treatment systems to families impacted by the 2023 train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. CenturyH2O.com. That's with an S, S-E-N-T-R-Y, H2O.com. This guy says he's leaving after Trump wins, but he gave an interesting reason as to why he's doing it.
Man, I told y'all, if Trump wins, I'm getting out, I'm packing my bags and I'm leaving this country. I told you I'm leaving because I've been itching to travel and we'll finally be able to afford it.
Nothing like enjoying a morning cup of joe on your front porch while your neighbors are tearing down their Harris Tim Walz signs.
Hope your day gets better. Positive energy.
Say that one more time.
Hope your day gets better. Positive energy.
Nancy Pelosi says there was an open primary and that ultimately Harris became the nominee. Really?
You had reportedly said you wanted a sort of an open primary if Joe Biden stepped down. Did you change your mind because you saw all the excitement around Kamala Harris?
No, I didn't change my mind. We had an open primary and she won it. Nobody else got in the race because she was politically astute. And
Say that one more time.
we had an open primary and she won it.
Now, when I ran for president, I spent a lot of time in Iowa. There's only one Democrat elected statewide, and that is an auditor, and he won by outspending his opponent 10-1. But days before this election, out comes a poll showing Donald Trump is going to lose the state by 4 points. I said it was absurd. But to MSNBC Hee Haw's Rachel Maddow, she talked about it for 9 minutes.
And the prototypical example of a gold standard poll is the Iowa poll done by Ann Selzer, by J. Ann Selzer in Iowa. The polls that she produces for the Des Moines Register in Iowa, specifically the final Iowa polls she does before each major election, her polls are known for their uncanny predictive accuracy. This is Ann Selzer's recent track record. I mean, what you see here is in each election year, what her final poll said the result would be in Iowa. Next to that is what the actual result was on Election Day. And as you can see, if you look at the Senate and presidential races since 2012, her poll has accurately predicted the winner of the Senate and presidential races in Iowa within 1 or 2 points every time. There was a governor's race in 2018 where things went a little bit gang-a-glay, but in Senate and presidential races, you have seen Ann Selzer basically as a living bullseye.
This former Trump lawyer turned Trump hater said he'd leave the country if Trump got reelected. Well,
what do you think happens to you if he wins?
Well, I'm out of here. I mean, I'm already working on a foreign passport with a completely different name. I don't know how it's going to work as far as dealing with my wife and my children. I certainly don't want them moving to where I'm looking to go.
No problem. Wow, genius you are. Can we stop with that? I appreciate it. I don't like the stupid turkeys. All right, let's just knock that stupid off, please. All right. I did. I said I was leaving. And then the following day, get that through your dumb heads. The following day, I turned around and I said that there's no chance in the world that I'm leaving my country. Thank you very much. All right? I'm not leaving anyway. You leave.
Now you just can't leave.
This is my country. And I have every right, every single right within which to turn around, would we stop so we can. All right, 2 seconds, I'm going to end up blocking this idiot.
Meanwhile, over at CNN, mic drop.
Remember, Pelosi, Harris, every single major Democrat in this country sat on this network and every other network and in front of TV cameras and said, oh, he's vigorous, he's great, he's going to do well, until it wasn't politically viable anymore. So I have very little sympathy for all this. I'm kind of, watching it with my popcorn box like the rest of the Republicans. But they have no one to blame but themselves for constructing a charade around Joe Biden that he was up to this. He never was. The American people found out about it, and that's part of why I think Harris lost.
Now, what will President-elect number 47 do?
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all, and corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption. And there are plenty of them. Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every Inspector General's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American people, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with and that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on, and it's taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
America, 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 yeah! Come out again to save the month. Yeah, America, yeah! Freedom is the only way, yeah! Terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, yeah!
This was entertaining on CNBC. Hosts Joe Kiernan, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Anthony Scaramucci, Trump hater, on Trump's victory.
But aren't you the slightest bit embarrassed, or at least humbled, about how wrong you were about the feeling of most Americans, let me finish, and for enthusiastically supporting a candidate who a majority of people thought had no business being anywhere near the Oval Office? And you're a Republican, and you saw that all the different policies that she was talking about are anathema to what you thought your whole life, and yet you went along with it. Do you ever eat any crow, or not even a little crow wing, really like a little capon? Or you just, I mean, Michael Avenatti could still be on TV trashing Trump. You'll always find a place on TV. If he wasn't in prison, he'd still be on CNN running for president with Brian Stelter. Just give me a little bit, Anthony, about how wrong you were.
Joe, first of all, I immediately put out a congratulatory tweet. They won, we lost. In the immortal words of Barry Diller when he lost a Paramount deal. Next, Joe, what would you like me to do? Do you want me to get on bended knee before you?
No, I thought you were going to start that it's going to...
That's not even what America is about, Joe. We have a violent disagreement about lots of things related to Trump's personality. You like Trump. I was up close to Trump. I got to see the ugliest of what he is. And by the way, Joe, it's not just me. There were 40 of us that worked for the president that warned people. So
I think he's been very good for your. I think he's been very good for your career, Anthony. I think he's been incredibly good. You're here, are you not? And you're going to be welcome anywhere you want to go. I think he's been very good for you, and you'll be able to live off this for another 4 years.
Joe, why don't you calm down? Why don't you calm down a second, Joe? We know each other a long time. Are you saying that you and I can't disagree on somebody's personality? Is that what you're saying? And you're saying what I'm saying in terms of identifying those features and traits of the personality. You don't see those too, but you're choosing to ignore them?
I guess 75 million people looked at everything you looked at and decided that there were other things that...
But there were 67 million people
I know
that
there
didn't,
were.
Joe. That's what makes America,
okay.
Joe. That's what
Okay.
makes America, Joe. But you're saying to me that stuff that I was saying wasn't factually true. If somebody's saying they're going to use the American military to go after their political adversaries, and I say, geez, that sounds very un-American to somebody like me.
Is that what he said,
saying,
Vivek?
oh, no.
Is that what he's going to do?
Of course he said it.
So let me see if I can.
We'll go to the
be
tape.
helpful here for a second, guys. Let me just take a moment to say this was a decisive win. All right, put aside whether you're a Republican or a Democrat. This is the first time a Republican has won the popular vote.
I admitted that it was decisive, and Joe wants something more. He wants like an extra pound of flesh or something like that.
So
I admitted that it was a win. I congratulated you guys.
So I think this is useful in one way, which is we have had a heated year and a half headed into this election. And right now, in these few days afterwards, let's process what happened. Okay, you have every county that Joe Biden performed well in, every county across the country. There was not one in which Kamala Harris did better. Now, this is not to dunk on the other side. What I'm in this to say is that decisive win gives us an opportunity as a country. And my advice to our fellow Republicans is that after, yes, we won and won decisively, we're done criticizing Kamala Harris or Joe Biden or the past. Let's turn the page to chase the future. One of the things I loved about Donald Trump's victory speech, and I was personally there, was him beginning to talk about this golden age in America. I think everyone wants that golden age, a growing economy, an immigration system that works. We now have an electoral mandate to deliver it. And so to Republicans, my ask is, you know what, let's put aside our own sense of grievance or vengeance or whatever. We won, let's use it. We're running to something. And my ask of Democrats and to those on the left who may not have liked Donald Trump and may not like him still is to say, just give him a chance and give us a chance to say that, you know what, we have a chance to unite this country in a way that we have not in a very long time. Most people favor economic growth. Most people want to pay lower taxes. Most people want an American dream for their kids and an immigration system that works and secure borders for our country and don't want their kids lining up to fight in World War III. That's the opportunity that we have. And I think it's a generational opportunity that we shouldn't squander. And so, you know, even to those who disagreed, my ask is give us a chance. And we're going to do our part by exhibiting, I hope, some grace to the people who we believe were wrong. But in moving this country forward, that's what we're looking to do.
Well, this prediction by Rick Wilson, another Trump-hating Republican, hasn't worn well.
Listen, I have a couple of things to think about for tomorrow, everybody. Number one, Trump's going to lose. He's going to lose badly. He's going to be wrecked. I don't know what the Electoral College count's going to be at the end of this, but it's going to get loud and it's going to get hard for him.
Remember this?
The most dangerous terrorist threat to our homeland is white supremacy.
Well,
I would go as far to say that I would purchase a Glock, and if you and I are walking on the same street and it's dark out and you're a white male, you have to be white for this to count, okay? If you're a white male, even if you don't approach me, I will shoot you. Yeah, I know. So, has to be on the street, you and I. Has to be at nighttime. During the day, not so much, but at nighttime, okay? And you have to have very white skin and be a male.
Biden was unavailable for comment, probably taking a nap. Now, this bigot is among many having some difficulty processing Kamala Harris's defeat and Trump's massive victory.
So listen, I'm gonna let y'all know this right now, okay? So you little Trumpets, like, y'all won. I know y'all happy, whatever. Ain't nobody acting like bitter losers. However, y'all need to leave me the alone because I got one more cigarette in me before I start lighting your up, all right? And that's word to the United States of mother America. Yeah.
Finally, well, it could have been worse. She could have pulled the race card. Black privilege.
Can I help you?
Oh, no, thanks for charging my car.
I see that, but this is my house and it's my charger that you're using.
I know, it'll be like 20 minutes.
Yeah, but that's really not, you can't just pull up to someone's driveway and use their charger. You didn't even ask for permission. I mean, maybe if you knocked on my door and asked me, I would have potentially let you, but you just pulled in my driveway. My wife's about to be home any minute now. You're in her spot.
Okay, well, I'm pregnant, my car's about to die, so I had no choice, and I saw that there was a new charger. Are you recording me
am recording you because you're on my property, and I'm sorry that your car is about to die, but I mean...
Okay, so you have to stop recording me and stop recording my plates. My husband is an attorney, so you're not going to put this video anywhere, so I'm not sure what you're doing with your phone.
How, I mean, do you normally do this? Do you normally pull up to people's houses and use their chargers?
Normally my car isn't dying. I had to go to the doctor, but my car was dying on the way home. I'll be done in like 1 minute. It's really not that big a deal. Can you back away from my car,
you're
please?
in my driveway.
I understand that, but can you back away from my car, please?
All right, I need you to unplug and drive away. Otherwise...
I need you to stop recording.
I need you to unplug and drive away, otherwise I'm going to call the police.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
going to call my husband.
All right, that's fine. You can call whoever you want. Please, can you please just unplug and drive away, please?
And he sings.
The eagle has landed. The eagle has landed. Clear.
What's going on? Someone really important must be here.
All clear in the holding room.
Eyes on the stage, everybody. Eyes on the stage.
Copy that.
Stop with the fake booze.
Okay. Excuse me. Hang on. Can I have your first name?
You need to ask, who do I look like?
This is how my girlfriend looks at me. Dads and granddads matter.
What the heck? Going under and I feel this time there's no one to save me.
Oh my goodness!
This all or nothing really got away, driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you numbed all the pain, and now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and you pulled the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you loved. I met you in the dark, you lit me up, you made me.
And last but not least, I think the pronouns of these students are him and his.
Type of situation, except now boys are at the table, and they're going to meet their pretty new teacher, and here she is. And after she leaves, we'll see the reaction.
Hi. What's your name? Charles Bigot. Hi, nice to meet you. Joe Paul. Nice to meet you. My name is Miss Darling, and I'm going to be a new teacher in social studies. Class good? Yeah, so alright.
You're wanted on the phone, Miss Darling. Would you follow me, please?
Oh, would you wait here for me a couple of minutes? I'll be right back. I didn't want to transfer when he mentioned it, but now I do. Oh, would you wait till a couple of minutes, okay? Thank you. Oh, could you just wait a couple of minutes? Oh, sure. Thank you.
you enjoyed We've Got a Country to Save, brought to you by my friends at investyrefy.com. Invest in America like I do. And by Freedom Chat. Freedom Chat has true end-to-end encryption, no storages of messages on the server, and no commercial use of user data. That way you can speak freely and message privately. Download the app today and subscribe to my Freedom Chat channel at Larry Elder for exclusive posts and never-before-seen content. We also thank Epoch Times, Old Glory Bank, Patriot Mobile, Birch Gold, Century H2O, and Blue Line Moving. Make sure to follow or subscribe to my channel on whatever platform you're using, whether X, YouTube, Facebook, or Rumble, and be sure to patronize our sponsors. And remember, we've got a country to save.
Stop! You know our wings come with Celebrate.